Birth of engineering geology. When I was reading Rankin lectures, I found a very interesting story about the birth of engineering geology. And it took approximately 10 years to get the proper definition. The subject itself was criticized by many people, and saying that it is better to a geologist nothing to know about engineering, and at the same time engineers no need to know about geology. And and basic definition came like, it's a elementary geology to engineers. Let's see proper citation where it was found. And here is the article. Professor Henkel in the year 1982, published in Geotechnics, volume number 32. Title is Geology, Geomorphology and Geotechnics. And this article says about the importance of collaboration between a geologist and geotechnical engineers is emphasized. Okay, now coming to the point. So our main interesting point is, in the year 1961, Terjagi presented a paper entitled Engineering Geology on the Job and in the Classroom to the Boston Society of Civil Engineers. Okay, the term engineering geology appeared to have originated as the name of a course of elementary geology taught to civil engineering student. Okay, the discussion on this paper produced a wide spectrum of opinion, ranging from idea that the engineering geologist should fulfill the role of both engineer and geologist, to the more rational view that engineering geology was geology and no different from any other branch of applied geology. It was also suggested by Dolmage 1962 that because a little knowledge was a dangerous thing, it might be easier if the engineer knew nothing about geology and the geologist knew nothing about engineering. So this is the statement where when I was read about this statement, I felt like, too much of laugh in my head. So it was initially criticism was taken by Terjagi also, who is the father of soil mechanics. Okay, so Terjagi was then proper definition came in the year. Professor Dearman in the year 1971 gave the following definition that engineering geology is the science or discipline of geology applied to the civil engineering, particularly as applied to the design, construction and performance aspects of engineering structures in and on the ground. Okay, and here the roles of geologist. I believe that the role of geologist has remained unchanged, and his duty is still to discover, warn and explain. Okay, so now a little bit interest about who is Henkel, Professor Henkel. Let's see. I have seen him. He is the person, Professor David John Henkel. And a little bit brief about Henkel, and his contributions in geotechnics is remembered by many who has benefited from his research. Okay, he is from Zimbabwe and born in the year 1921 and died in the year 2006. And one important thing what I was found is, and he did 2 years as assistant professor in IIT Delhi. So in the last paragraph we can see David was keen to share his expertise internationally, and in the year 1963 he accepted the appointment of Professor of Soil Mechanics at the New Indian Institute of Technology in New Delhi, moving 2 years later to Cornell University as a Professor of Civil Engineering and Head of the Department of Geotechnical Engineering. So After reading this, I felt very happy that he was the professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Delhi, where I was did a PhD in civil engineering. Like felt nostalgia type, and the great legend lived in the floors where I was roamed. So that much happiness, and at the same time, engineering geology, it took 10 years to get a proper definition. But geology itself is very old, and the subject is very old. But engineering geology, and it was introduced by Terjagi in the year 1961, and proper definition came in the year 1971. It took approximately 10 years, and it taken lot of criticism, wide spectrum of opinions. I cannot say criticism; it's a opinion. Thank you. We'll see you in the next podcast.